all, I'd like to thank Kirby John Caldwell for his beautiful words of inspiration. What he doesn't know is that my son is here tonight, and he went to your school, and your school gave him so much education that when he got over to another school, he was 2 or 3 years ahead of his class. Thank you for your school. I'd also like to thank the chairman, Dan Walterman, and Carol Galloway for their wonderful, wonderful event here tonight. Can you give them a round of applause? A couple things. Why am I here? And why is housing important? Everybody who leaves here tonight will go someplace and have a place that has a roof over their head. But there's some people who won't. And that's why I'm here tonight. I had a chance during Katrina to look into a lady's eyes, 3 ladies, and I really wanted to get them a place to stay. And they looked back at me and they said, "Can you give us a moment, please?" And being young and enthusiastic, I said, "You gotta go with me, you gotta have a place to stay." And then I realized something else. They looked back at me and said, "Can you give me a moment, please? Our kids are dead." When you look at somebody, it's just more about housing, is looking into the soul and spirit of that person and realizing that you have a job that's bigger than just a house or a roof over someone's head. Just a couple of days ago, before the video, we had a lady that was 85 years old, been married for 35 years. Her house was washed away in Shore Acres, Texas. Her husband's gone, she has no place to live, and she's blind. We were able to house that lady, and she said to me, "No one has ever done," she didn't even have any clothes, "no one has ever done what you guys have done for her." We gave her a house, we gave her clothes, and we reached out to her. And over 35 years, her son was there. Her son was 55 years old. And he said, "Thank you very much." And how that touched me, he was not thanking me, he was thanking the NAACP. Because without you and your struggles and your fight, I would not be able to help that lady like I was able to help her that day. Thank you very much.
Next, she is no stranger in the Houston community. I think of her as a philanthropist. She's always out supporting great causes, and she makes a positive difference here in the Houston community. At this time, that is none other than Dr. Carolyn Farb. Will you please roll the tape?
Dr. Carolyn Farb is known in the community as Houston's premier volunteer fundraiser and event creator, and has championed many causes paramount to the NAACP's mission. She dedicates her time pushing the agendas of medical research, children's issues, education, environmental racism, HIV/AIDS, legal advocacy for the wrongly incarcerated, and abolition of the death penalty. It was her trailblazing efforts in the 80s that helped to chip away at the stigma of AIDS in the Houston community.
And what I did was gather a group of citizens from all walks of life and ask them to be in a photograph that said, "AIDS is everyone's responsibility."
With her ingenuity and clout, she was able to raise more than $100,000 for AIDS research. For the past 21 years, Carolyn has also been a volunteer with UNICEF and is currently serving as board chair. She says the protection of human rights is a cause we can all do something about.
You hear about the atrocities and you wonder, what can I do? Well, we cannot afford to forget those people who cannot act for themselves politically or economically.
The president of the NAACP is pleased to present Dr. Carolyn Farb with the 2008 NAACP Presidential Award for her unrelenting passion and commitment of public service and philanthropy to advance and promote